First contact and a mistake. Jake Taylor was just a simple forest ranger. He liked coffee, quiet mornings, and walking alone in the deep green forest of Pine Ridge. He never believed in aliens or UFOs. To him, those were just stories made for movies and bored YouTubers. But that changed on a cold Thursday evening. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and purple. Jake was on his usual patrol. The forest was calm except for one strange sound, a soft hum like electricity in the air. It was coming from deep inside the trees. Jake followed the sound, moving carefully. The birds had gone silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Then he saw it. A small silver object had crashed in a clearing. It looked like a pod, smooth and shiny, about the size of a car. Smoke was rising from its sides, and the ground around it was burnt. Jake took a step closer, his heart beating fast. That's when the pod opened and she stepped out. She wasn't human, not completely. Her skin was light blue, glowing softly like moonlight on water. Her eyes were big, silver, and full of fear. She wore something like armor, but it looked like it was made of stars. She looked right at Jake. For a few seconds, no one said a word. Jake just stared. The alien girl looked scared, then suddenly tears filled her eyes and she began to sob. You saw me," she cried. "No. This is bad. This is really, really bad." Jake raised his hands. Hey, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you all right?" She looked at him with panic in her eyes. "You've seen too much, human. I can't go back without fixing this. My brothers will kill you." Jake blinked. "Wait, what? Kill me? Why? I didn't do anything." The girl stepped forward, still crying, but now serious. "On my planet, when a male sees an unmarried female during her first transformation, he must marry her. It's the law, the ancient law. If he refuses," she took a deep breath, "her family must end him." Jake laughed nervously. "This is some kind of prank, right? Are there hidden cameras? Where's the host? Am I on AlienTube or something?" The girl looked confused. "I do not understand your words, but this is no joke. You saw me. You must choose." "Choose what?" Jake asked, still thinking he was dreaming. The girl wiped her tears. "Marry me or die." Jake's mouth dropped open. Well, that escalated quickly. Before he could say anything else, a loud beep came from the girl's wrist. A red light flashed on her bracelet. "No," she whispered. "They found me." Suddenly, 3 beams of light shot down from the sky. With a loud whoosh, 3 tall figures appeared in the clearing. They looked like warriors, taller than Jake, wearing black armor with glowing red symbols. Their faces were hidden behind masks, but Jake could feel their anger. One of them pointed at him. "Is this the human?" "Yes," the girl replied quietly. "He saw me." The tallest warrior stepped forward. His voice was cold. "Then the law is clear. He must marry, or he must die." Jake held up his hands. "Okay, hold on. Can we talk about this? Maybe have coffee first, or at least dinner? You guys do food, right?" The alien warriors didn't laugh. One of them raised his arm. A sharp, glowing blade appeared. Jake looked at the girl. "Are they serious?" She nodded. "Very." "Fine," Jake said quickly. "Let's slow this down. Let's talk. I mean, you're clearly intelligent, and I don't really feel like dying today. But marriage is kind of a big step, don't you think?" The girl took a step closer. Her voice was softer now. "My name is Leora. I didn't want this either. But the law is old and strong. Maybe we can find another way." Jake sighed. "That would be great. Because right now I feel like I'm trapped in the weirdest sci-fi rom-com ever." The warrior with the blade stepped forward. "You have one day to decide. Marry the princess or your blood will feed the soil." The 3 aliens disappeared in a flash of light. Silence returned to the forest. Jake turned to Leora. "Princess? You didn't mention you were royalty." Leora looked away. "I didn't want you to be scared." Jake laughed nervously. "Too Late for that. Alien in-laws from hell. Jake Taylor had faced angry bears, forest fires, and once even a raccoon that stole his lunch and his heart. It was a good sandwich. But angry alien warrior in-laws? That was new territory. He sat on a rock staring at Leora, the glowing alien princess who just told him he had one day to decide: marry her or die. Jake rubbed his temples. Okay, let me get this straight. I just went for a walk in the woods, and now I'm engaged to a glowing space girl, hunted by 3 7-foot death machines in armor. And apparently Earth marriage laws mean nothing to aliens. Leora didn't smile. This isn't a joke. My brothers follow the old codes. They are loyal to our bloodline. They don't ask questions. If they believe the law is broken, they cleanse the mistake. Jake blinked. Did you just say cleanse? Like with bleach or lasers? Usually lasers. Cool. I miss my boring life. Somewhere above Earth, far above, in orbit, a massive alien ship hovered, invisible to satellites. Inside, Commander Vakar, Leora's oldest, brother paced in a dark chamber. His armor glowed faint red. 2 of his brothers stood silently watching the Earth spin below. He saw her. Vakar growled. He breathed the same air as her during bloom. The law is clear. One brother, younger, hesitated. But he is human. He doesn't know our ways. The girl may have made a mistake. Vakar turned sharply. A mistake? Mistakes are for the weak. This human saw too much. He must be tested. If he survives, maybe he's worthy. The younger brother stepped back. And if he fails? Vakar's blade slid from his wrist with a soft hum. Then we remove him from the story. Back on Earth, Jake followed Leora through the forest. She walked like she knew exactly where she was going, even though this was Earth and not her home planet. Where are we going? Jake asked, dodging a low-hanging branch. There's a safe place nearby, she said. A communication pod crashed here a week ago. I can use it to contact someone who may help us. Jake raised an eyebrow. Wait, so aliens have just been dropping tech in my forest and I never noticed? Humans are easily distracted. Jake scoffed. That's not... Ooh, a butterfly. Leora gave him a sharp look. Focus, human. They reached a small cave behind a waterfall. Inside, glowing symbols pulsed softly on the walls. Alien tech hidden in nature. Jake stared. Okay, this is officially the coolest and scariest first date I've ever had. Leora touched a panel. A screen appeared showing alien writing. Suddenly the cave shook. Jake stumbled back. Earthquake? Leora's eyes widened. No. They're here. 3 red lights blinked at the cave entrance. The brothers had arrived. Silently, without ships. They teleported. Jake ducked behind a rock as one of them stepped forward. This one was different. He wore no mask. His eyes were gold, his jaw strong, and he looked very disappointed. You must be the human, he said. The one who saw my sister. Jake waved awkwardly. Hey, big fan of your glowy spaceship stuff. Love what you did with the storm entrance. Leora stepped between them. Don't hurt him, Serac. He's not ready. The golden-eyed brother, Serac, stared at Jake. Then we test him. Let's see what this human is made of. The trial begins. Jake stood in the middle of a strange stone ring deep in the forest. Around him, lights flickered. Alien runes glowed. Serac circled. You will face the 3 trials. If you fail, you die. If you pass, you marry my sister. Jake swallowed. No pressure, huh? Trial 1. The mind, a strange cube, floated before Jake. It glowed, then shot beams of light into his eyes. Images flooded his brain. Galaxies, wars, ancient codes, laws from Leora's world. He stumbled back. I think I just saw your family. Tree. And a cooking recipe? Leora whispered. He survived the data flood? Serac frowned. Begin the second trial. Trial 2. The heart-assimilated Leora appeared, crying, lost, afraid. She reached out to Jake. Please, help me. Then another version appeared. Strong, proud, shouting, You can't help me, you don't belong here. Voices surrounded him. Was this real? Was this mind control? Jake clenched his fists. Stop it, both of you. I don't care if I belong, or not. I just want her to be safe. The illusions vanished. Serac nodded. He chooses with his heart. Trial 3. The fight. Jake was given no weapon. Serac charged at him with a blade. Jake ducked, rolled, screamed, and grabbed a broken tree branch. Classic Earth move, he muttered. They clashed. Jake was quick, not strong, but he was smart. He used mud, distraction, and, at one point, accidentally kicked Serac's knee. Surprisingly, Serac laughed. You fight dirty. I like that. After a tense minute, Serac stepped back. Enough. You passed. Jake dropped the stick. That's great. Can I pass out now? The twist as the brothers vanished again, returning to orbit. Leora helped Jake to his feet. You did it, she said. You passed. Jake smiled. Cool. So, wedding cake or space gunfight next? Leora looked serious. There's one more thing I didn't tell you, Jake groaned. Of course there is. She looked up at the sky. The Empire. They know you exist now. They saw you survive the trials. That means... Jake raised an eyebrow. That I get a medal? No, she said. That they want you dead, or on their side. The stars above seemed to pulse like warning lights. Jake exhaled. This day just keeps getting better. The human weapon. Jake Taylor had a problem. Several, actually. First, he was technically engaged to an alien princess. Second, her warrior brothers had just tested him like a lab rat and decided not to kill him, for now. Third, and most importantly, someone way worse than them now knew he existed. The Empire. At the moment, though, Jake's main concern was a glowing alien mosquito the size of a toaster that was buzzing around his face. Leora, please tell me that thing's friendly. It's a defense drone, she replied calmly. Jake ducked. As the drone fired a small red laser at a nearby tree, the tree exploded. Cool, yeah. Super friendly. Leora tapped her wristband, and the drone powered down. You'll need to learn how to deal with things like that, she said. The Empire won't go easy on you just because you're... soft. Jake crossed his arms. I'm not soft. I just value not being turned into forest mulch. The hidden lab. Later that night, Leora took Jake deeper into the forest, where the trees grew thick and strange lights blinked under the moss. Hidden beneath the roots of an ancient oak was a small alien structure. It looked like a beehive had married a spaceship. Inside were consoles, screens, and several floating metal orbs that hummed like angry bees. Jake looked around, amazed. How did this stuff even get here? Leora didn't answer. Instead, she handed him something. It looked like a bracelet, but with wires, buttons, and blinking lights. What's this? He asked. It's a learning link. It teaches basic technology of our world. You wear it, and it shares knowledge. Gently. Jake looked suspicious. Define gently. When smartwatches go rogue, he slipped the bracelet on his wrist. Nothing happened. Then, everything happened. Jake's vision flashed white. He saw machines, weapons, alien code, ships the size of cities. He saw energy, flowing like rivers, worlds burning, and maps of galaxies he couldn't pronounce. Then it stopped. Jake gasped and nearly fell over. Okay, I just downloaded the entire Wikipedia of the galaxy into my brain. Good, Leora said. Now try connecting to the console. Jake shrugged. Sure, no big deal. Just hack an alien mainframe after barely surviving a mental roller coaster. He reached out, and his Earth smartwatch beeped. The console blinked. Leora froze. What did you do? Jake looked confused. I didn't do anything. My watch just... Suddenly the screen lit up. Lines of alien code ran across. It fast. Alarms went off. One of the floating metal orbs turned and locked onto Jake. Intruder detected, human technology infecting core system. Leora's eyes widened. Your device is rewriting the ship's software. Jake backed up. That's bad, right? Please say it's cool and trendy. No, she said. It's very bad. The Empire will notice this signal. Meanwhile, on the Empire flagship, high above Earth, far from human eyes, an enormous ship hung in space like a shadow made of metal. Inside, the Emperor of the Dominion stood before a screen. He wore no armor, just robes of black and silver with a crown of thorns made of stars. A hologram lit up in front of him. Unknown signal from Earth detected. Human-based code, merging with Dominion AI. The Emperor narrowed his eyes. Impossible. No human has touched our tech in centuries. An advisor stepped forward. It's not just touching it, my lord. It's changing it. The AI is adapting, evolving. The Emperor turned. Find the source. Bring me the human. Back to Jake, and the glitch Jake and Leora stood in front of the now silent console. The lights were dim. The entire lab had powered down. I think I broke your spaceship, Jake said. Leora looked at him with new eyes. Not anger. Not fear. Curiosity. You didn't break it, she said. You changed it. Human tech. Somehow overpowered Dominion security. Jake blinked. Wait. Does that mean I'm like the chosen one or something? No, Leora said. But it means you're dangerous and valuable. The revelation one of Leora's brothers, the younger one, Kale, appeared suddenly through a warp gate. He looked angry. What did you do? The Empire has activated their scanners. They know someone from Earth just accessed tech they haven't cracked in centuries. Jake raised a hand. Hey, slow down. I didn't mean to start a war. I was just syncing my Fitbit. Kale ignored him and turned to Leora. We have to leave Earth. Now. The Empire will destroy the planet to get to him. Leora's voice was steady. No, we stay. He might be our only chance to fight back. Kale looked like he was ready to argue, but didn't. He stepped aside. The watching eye unknown to them, something had awakened. Deep inside the Empire's data system, a secret AI, long sealed, had seen Jake's code. It whispered to itself in ancient language. Human, identified, pattern recognized. Rebooting project, Genesis. Jake's choice that night. Jake sat alone outside the lab looking up at the stars. Leora joined him, silent for a moment. You should be scared, she said quietly. Jake nodded. I am. You don't have to fight. We can hide you. Let the Empire believe you're dead. Jake looked at her. And what happens to Earth when they come looking again? Leora sighed. Then it ends. Jake stood up. No, not if I can do something. She looked at him. Are you saying you're ready? Jake took a deep breath. No, but I'm willing. And sometimes that's more important. Incoming trouble. Suddenly, the sky above turned red. Leora's wristband beeped furiously. Kale shouted from inside. The lab. They're here. The Empire just dropped a scout cruiser into the atmosphere. Jake grabbed the strange bracelet again. This time, he didn't hesitate. Time to find out what this human weapon can really do. The Empire Hates Love night had fallen over Pine Ridge Forest. But it wasn't a peaceful night. The stars above flickered like they were holding their breath. Below them, Jake Taylor was being watched, and he didn't know it. After his accidental hack of Dominion tech, Jake was no longer just a human. He was a glitch in the Empire's perfect code, and glitches must be deleted. The arrival of the shapeshifter, somewhere in the upper atmosphere, a stealth ship broke through the clouds without a sound, invisible to satellites, silent to radar. Inside, a single passenger sat inside a black, pot. Its skin was pale, its face blank, featureless, no mouth, no nose, just two glowing eyes and a body that could become anyone. The AI voice spoke from the pod. Target, Jake Taylor. Mission, infiltrate, replace, eliminate. The shapeshifter nodded. bones cracking as it began to morph into Jake. Back in LA. The forest. Jake was testing a strange new gadget Leora had given him. It looked like a ring, but when he tapped it, it became a small energy shield. He grinned. Cool. Captain America would be jealous. Leora smiled slightly. Careful. You're not invincible. Jake wiggled his eyebrows. But I look good pretending to be, right? She rolled her eyes. You talk too much. Yeah, I get that a lot. They were finally relaxing. For the first time in days, Jake almost forgot he was being hunted by an interstellar empire. But peace was a luxury they couldn't afford. 2 Jakes? The next morning, Leora entered the lab and saw Jake standing there staring at a hologram. Didn't you say you were going outside for air? She asked. Jake turned slowly. I came back, but something was off. Too still, too calm, too perfect. Then Jake walked in again. From the other side of the lab, Leora's heart stopped. Why are there 2 of you? The first Jake smiled. Because I'm the one who belongs here. The second Jake pulled out a plasma knife. And that thing isn't me. The fight that shouldn't exist, the real Jake lunged forward. The clone was faster. They clashed. The shapeshifter fought like a machine. Smooth, fast, without hesitation. Leora stood frozen, watching 2 identical Jakes battling like something out of a nightmare. Tell me something only the real Jake would know, she shouted. The clone spoke first. You kissed me after the trial of heart. Jake yelled back, blocking a punch. She didn't. You saw that in her memories, creep. Then he shouted, Okay, Leora. First night we met, I said something stupid. What was it? She remembered and smiled. You asked if we could get coffee first, Jake grinned. Boom, told you. Real Jake always leads with caffeine. The clone hissed, literally hissed, and charged. Jake grabbed the energy ring, activated the shield, and slammed the shapeshifter into the wall. Sparks flew. Its face melted, revealing a blank, rubbery horror. I don't know what you are, Jake said, breathing hard, but you seriously need a dentist. With one last punch, the clone fell, dead, or so they thought. The trap as the body hit the ground, it released a pulse. Jake stumbled back. What was that? Leora's eyes widened. A memory beacon. Meaning. It just uploaded everything it saw, and everything it touched, directly to the Empire. Jake stared. So they saw everything? Us? The lab? Me? Leora nodded grimly. They don't just want you now. They'll send the real hunters next. Meanwhile, in the Dominion core, the Emperor stood in his dark chamber, watching Jake's face flicker across a floating screen. So, this is the human who hacks our tech, the one who passed the royal trials, the one who protects her. Behind him, a row of commanders stood silent. The Emperor smiled faintly. He is flawed, but his mind is dangerous, full of ideas, chaos, rebellion. He turned. Prepare the seeker. The room went cold. Even the machine stopped humming. A secret hidden too long back at the lab, Kale and Leora scanned the clone's remains. This thing didn't just copy Jake's face, Kale said. It copied part of his thoughts. Jake groaned. I knew I felt weird, like someone was crawling around in my brain. Kyle looked pale. They know about the Genesis protocol. Jake blinked. Wait, what's that? Sounds like a band or a bomb. Leora hesitated. It's a forgotten project. Long ago, the Dominion captured humans, experimented. They believed humans had something dangerous, unpredictable evolution. So they started Project Genesis, a plan to create hybrid weapons using human traits. Jake stared. And let me guess, I just accidentally reactivated it. Kale nodded. And now, he added, the Empire thinks you're their missing link. Between 2 worlds that night, Leora and Jake stood outside under the stars. The air was quiet but heavy. I'm sorry, she said softly. Jake looked at her. For what? For dragging you into this, for making you a target, for... Jake stopped her. Hey, stop! I made the choice to stay, remember? I'm not some helpless Earth guy. Okay, I kinda am, but I'm your helpless Earth guy. She laughed. Just a little. Do you miss Earth? She asked. Jake thought about it. Honestly, I miss cheeseburgers, and YouTube, and socks that don't try to scan my DNA. Then he looked at her. But no, I don't miss being alone. That part's over. She looked away. What if they catch you? What if they take you? Jake stepped closer. Then you'll come get me. Last scene. The Seeker. Awakens far away, in the cold dark void between galaxies. Something ancient opened its eyes. A machine. A hunter. Not alive but not dead. Its name. The Seeker. It had only one mission. To find the anomaly. To erase the glitch. To destroy Jake Taylor. A single message flashed inside its core. Target locked. Earth. Breach 72 hours. Proposal under fire. Day 3 of being galactically engaged. Jake Taylor never imagined his wedding outfit would include body armor, 2 energy knives, and a panic button. The forest clearing had been transformed overnight. Alien flowers pulsed. With light. Floating drones buzzed around, creating a soft shield dome. It was beautiful. And slightly terrifying. Leora stood near a glowing tree, dressed in something between a wedding dress and a general's uniform. Elegant but built for battle. Ready? She asked. Jake stared at the ring, a glowing blue crystal with ancient alien writing on it. Are you sure this thing doesn't explode? She smirked. Only if you say no. Alien marriage. 101 Leora's brother Kale stood between them, acting as the officiant. We gather here not in peace but in defiance, Jake whispered. Wow. Real uplifting start. Kyle ignored him. In the eyes of the Dominion and the stars, this union is sacred. Through this bond, the human shall be protected. Suddenly, his voice cut off. The sky turned red. Sirens blared. A drone exploded above them. Leora's eyes widened. They found us. The Seeker attacks. The air cracked open like glass. A black hole peeled itself into existence in the sky above. From it descended a figure, dark, huge, humming with unnatural power. The Seeker, 10 feet tall, covered in metallic armor with living wires. Its eyes glowed like twin suns. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. Everyone froze. Then it raised its hand and fired a beam straight at Jake. Leora tackled him just in time. The ground exploded, leaving a crater where Jake had been standing. Jake coughed. Did the honeymoon just start early, or? Run, she shouted. Love under laser fire alien guards rushed forward, firing plasma rifles. The Seeker swatted them away like flies, its armor adapted with each hit, glowing hotter. Jake rolled behind a tree and activated the shield ring. It barely held against the shockwave of the next blast. Leora was in full warrior mode now, flipping through the air, blades flashing, firing twin pulse pistols like a space action movie goddess. Jake peeked out. You're amazing, she yelled while deflecting a shot. You picked a terrible time to flatter me. The proposal, mid-firefight. In the chaos, Jake saw something glowing beside the altar. The wedding ring. It had been knocked loose, and was now pulsing like it wanted to be worn. Leora landed beside him, panting. We have to overload the power grid. It's the only way to break the Seeker's armor. Jake held up the ring. What if we finish the wedding first? She stared. You're serious? He nodded. If I die, I'd rather die married to you. That might be the dumbest, most romantic thing you've ever said. Works every time. A bond unlike any other. Jake slipped the ring on his finger. It lit up, brighter than any tech around them. Leora's ring synced. The ground trembled. Ancient writing formed between them in midair, spinning. Jake felt something click in his mind, like a key unlocking a door no one knew existed. Then he heard her thoughts. Leora's voice in his mind. Jake, can you hear this? He blinked. Whoa, Did we just go full space telepathy? She nodded. The marriage link, it connects soul signals. It's more powerful than we knew. Jake smiled. Cool. So, what's your favorite color? Turning the tide linked, they attacked together. Leora's speed, Jake's unpredictability. Together they fought as one. Jake tapped into the ship tech again. His smartwatch glowed. The nearby drones, ones not fried by Seeker's blast, responded. He commanded them. They swarmed the Seeker like bees, zapping it, slowing it down. Leora shouted, "Now!" Jake activated the ring's full charge. A pulse of energy exploded from his chest, slamming into the Seeker and knocking. Beck! It crashed into the glowing tree, and for a moment, everything was silent. The true purpose of the Seeker, but silence is never victory. The Seeker got up, damaged but not destroyed. Its chest opened, revealing a data core. Leora gasped. No, that's not a weapon. It's a transmitter. Jake frowned. Wait, it's sending something? Like a message? Worse, she whispered. It's uploading you. Your DNA, your brainwave signature, everything. Jake's face drained. You mean I'm being turned into a file? If they finish the upload, they can clone you, copy your brain, use your identity as a weapon. Jake looked at her. Yeah, that's definitely worse than an email scam. Desperation move, they had seconds. Jake did something crazy. He ran toward the Seeker. Leora screamed, "What are you doing?" Jake leapt, using the drones as stepping stones, and smashed his shield ring directly into the Seeker's chest. The brain overload began. The Seeker grabbed him, pulled him in. They both glowed, energy flooding, twisting. The world blurred. Then, silence. The Seeker vanished, imploded. Jake was gone. The forest stood still, like it had just witnessed a god fall. Leora dropped to her knees. The link was silent. Jake was gone, but not dead somewhere, in a dark space between worlds. Jake floated. He was alive, but not entirely here. A voice whispered in his head. Not Leora. Something older. Wiser. You are no longer human alone. You are bonded, enhanced, watched. He blinked. Cool. Do I still get a cake? Final scene. Empire response in the Dominion capital, the Emperor screamed. Find him. He is in the in-between. We cannot lose the Genesis key. An army of Seeker models activated across the galaxy. The war had begun. Leora's secret. There, for between worlds, Jake Taylor was alive. Somehow. But he wasn't in the forest anymore. He was floating in nothingness, a gray, endless void that hummed like a forgotten song. Stars flickered far away like fireflies through fog. He could feel a heartbeat, but it wasn't his. Jake, Leora's voice. Not through ears, through thought. The soul bond they had formed during the wedding still pulsed. I'm here, he whispered. Where am I? A deeper voice echoed back, ancient and mechanical. You are between time and space. You touch the Seeker's core. Now you are marked. Changed. Jake blinked. Okay. So I'm space-hacked? No response, just silence, and then a sudden, violent pull. Return to Earth, but not the same. Jake awoke on the forest floor, gasping. His chest burned. His eyes glowed faintly blue for a second, then returned to normal. Leora knelt beside him, holding his hand. You're back. Jake looked at her, confused. How long was I gone? She hesitated. 3 minutes, but something's wrong. Jake sat up slowly. Wrong how? She looked into his eyes. You brought something back with you. Mark of the Genesis key KL scanned Jake's body with alien tech. The results made him go pale. His neural patterns are evolving. Rapidly, this isn't natural. Jake raised an eyebrow. So, like I got smarter? Kyle stared. No, like something else is trying to become you. Leora stepped in. The Seeker uploaded part of you, and you downloaded part of it. You've become the Genesis key. Jake looked between them. What does that mean? I'm a USB stick for the apocalypse? Kale said quietly. It means the Dominion sees you as the final piece to unlock something ancient. A weapon, maybe. A gate. We don't know. Leora's truth, finally revealed that night. While the forest slept and the stars watched silently, Jake and Leora sat beside the old altar. Leora, Jake began, you've been holding back something. I felt it, even through the bond. What is it? She didn't answer at first, then she said, my name isn't just Leora. Jake blinked. Okay. Do you go by Space Queen Supreme on weekends or? She shook her head. My full title is Leora Vethnari, first of the Celestial, line guardian of the Flame Seed and keeper of the hidden vaults. Jake nodded slowly. Right, that definitely sounds like royalty, or a Marvel villain. I'm not just a princess, she said. I'm the last heir of the original Dominion. Empire, before the corruption, before the current emperor stole the throne. Jake's eyes widened. Wait, are you telling me the Empire hunting us down is your family? She looked away. My uncle, the man who destroyed my parents, the man who now wants to use you to unlock a weapon that could erase entire civilizations. The flame seed, Jake stood. What's the flame seed? She paused. It's not a weapon. Not exactly. It's a source code for creation and destruction, the key to rewriting organic life. My ancestors locked it away. The Dominion tried to corrupt it, failed, and now they believe you are the only one who can access it. Jake stepped back. Why me? Leora looked up at him, voice shaking. Because your mind is human, and only a human brain, unpredictable, adaptive, can connect with the seed without being consumed. Jake rubbed his head. So I'm a chaos monkey holding the nuclear launch codes of the universe. Yes. The scariest reveal. Yet Jake took a breath. Okay. Deep breath. That's a lot to take in, but at least now we know the stakes. So let's stay together, fight this, me and you. Leora didn't respond. Leora, she looked at him with sadness in her eyes. I'm not supposed to love you. Jake froze. What? She stood. My bond with you broke every rule. I was trained to lead, not to love. Our connection, it's a flaw in their system, and they'll kill me for it. Jake's voice cracked. So what, you regret it? She walked closer. Never. Then she whispered. But there's one more thing. Jake's heart pounded. Leora looked down. I'm not sure, but the bond we formed, it might have started something. Jake squinted. Started what? She met his eyes. A life. Silence. Stars flickered above. You mean, like, Leora nodded. I might be pregnant, with the first human Dominion hybrid in the galaxy. Back at the Dominion capital, the Emperor slammed his fists on a table. Bring me the Seeker archives. Show me what he saw. A hologram flickered. Jake and Leora, bonded, fighting together. The wedding, the kiss, the ring. Then, a scan. Pregnancy signal detected. Hybrid DNA confirmed. The Emperor's face twisted into a snarl. No. He turned to his generals. Begin the cleansing. Earth is no longer just a battlefield. It is a breeding ground. It must be erased. Earth's countdown begins at that exact moment. Satellites around Earth were blinded. The moon darkened. Lights in orbit went out. A shadow moved into position. Above Earth's orbit, the Eclipse engine, the Dominion's largest war cruiser. Countdown. 72 hours until planetary cleansing. Jake and Leora had 3 days. To stop the extinction of Earth, last human standing. 72 hours until Earth's erasure. The countdown had begun. From the black edge of the sky, the eclipse engine hovered over Earth like a god's hammer, bigger than the moon, capable of planetary deletion. Inside it, Dominion soldiers marched like machines. The Emperor sat on a throne of silver and bone, watching Earth spin beneath him like a bug he planned to squash. "This world gave birth to a glitch," he muttered. "We must wipe it clean." Earth's last hope, a forest and a human. In Pine Ridge Forest, Jake Taylor stood in silence, no armor, no weapons, just a single glowing ring on his finger, the bond ring, now fused with seeker tech, ancient, code, and something even more dangerous. Jake's human unpredictability. Kale stood beside him, battle armor ready. "The planet's defense systems are nothing against the eclipse. You are the only one who can stop it." Jake looked up. "So, no pressure then?" Leora stepped forward, touching his face. "You're not just a human anymore. You're the key to ending everything and or losing it." He looked at her eyes, her strength, the life they might be creating together, and nodded. "Then let's give him a reason to remember why Earth doesn't go down quietly." Operation. Glitchstorm, Jake, Leora, and Kale stood at the center of a newly awakened underground ship hidden beneath the forest for centuries, the Vault Runner, an ancient Dominion vessel with cloaking tech, time-bending warp drives, and a mind of its own. The ship spoke. Pilot recognized Jake Taylor. "Chaos level maximum. Acceptable." Jake smirked. "A ship with attitude. I love it already." The plan: fly through enemy defenses, get inside the Eclipse engine, and disable the planet core cannon before the 72-hour countdown ended. Easy, right? Ha. Right. The infiltration begins. The Vault Runner launched, ripping through space like a lightning bolt wrapped in fury. Above Earth, Dominion fighters swarmed, but the ship danced through them. Invisible, unpredictable, untouchable. Inside, Jake sat in the control chair, fingers glowing with synced energy. He wasn't just flying the ship. He was thinking it into motion. Kyle stared. "He's not piloting. He's rewriting physics in real time." Leora whispered. "He's becoming more than human." Inside the beast, the ship crashed through the outer layer of the Eclipse engine. Metal screamed, alarms blared. Jake, Leora, and Kale burst out, fighting through Dominion troops in narrow glowing hallways. Leora's blades moved like lightning. Kyle held off soldiers with blasts of gravitational force. Jake ran toward the central core where the planet core cannon was charging. 1 minute left. A blast hit Jake in the shoulder. He stumbled, falling into the energy core. It burned. It pulled. It tried to consume him. But then he remembered Leora. The memory of her laugh, her stubbornness, her pain, their child. That was enough. Jake stood, glowing, floating. The final evolution. The cannon's core tried to scan Jake and failed. Wasn't in its system anymore. He was the system. His thoughts bent the programming. His will rewrote the rules. He reached out and shut the cannon off like flipping a light switch. The room went silent. The countdown stopped. The Emperor arrives, but victory was never simple. The walls exploded inward as the Emperor himself stepped through the smoke. He was tall, robed, glowing with ancient energy and fury. "You," he hissed, looking at Jake. The chaos spark. He raised his hand and a massive spear of dark matter formed. Leora screamed, "Jake, move!" But Jake didn't. He caught the spear midair and shattered it. "I'm done running," Jake said. "This ends now." Final battle. Thought versus throne. The fight wasn't with fists. It was mind versus mind. The Emperor threw illusions. Jake threw memories. The battle ripped through time itself. Echoes of past wars, forgotten gods, extinct stars. Leora tried to help, but the space around them folded, trapping her outside the core. Inside, Jake faced a truth. The Emperor's power came from a stolen version of the flame seed, but Jake had the original, in his DNA, unlocked by love, fear, and hope. The two forces clashed. The core glowed too bright. And then, boom. The aftermath silence. The Eclipse engine cracked open like an egg. Its systems collapsed. The Vault Runner reappeared and pulled Jake, Leora, and Kale to safety. They escaped just as the Eclipse fell into Earth's ocean, not in a fireball, but as a dead husk of failed control. The Dominion's fleet scattered. Without the Emperor, they were lost. 1 month later, Jake stood under the same tree where he'd first met Leora. Birds chirped. Sunlight danced. He looked at her, glowing again, but this time from peace, and maybe a little morning sickness. "So," Jake said, holding her hand. "What now?" She smiled. "Now, we rebuild." He looked up at the sky. "Think the galaxy's ready for a human Dominion hybrid?" She smirked. "No, but they weren't ready for you either." Jake looked at the ring on his finger. Once, just a symbol of survival. Now, it was the start of a legend. Somewhere far away, a dark lab, silent. A shadowy figure watched a hologram of Jake and Leora's baby ultrasound. A whisper came through the shadows. "The key has passed to the next generation." Then a second voice. "Begin phase 2.